Good
Hey
night.
guys, and welcome back to the Reactor Summit. I am not Kristen Smith. You want to know why? Because Kristen Smith, like me, abandoned this show because that's what she does. So I'm here. It's okay. As John Flickinger would say, don't get scared now, because it's only for this episode that I'm hosting again. But as some band that I know their song, but I don't know who sang it. Celebrate good times. Come on. So we are here. We are talking about all things Schmoedown related that did not air on Saturday. So we are not talking about the collision this week. We will be talking about that next week. But if you want to talk about Irrigatum Fatal 4-Way and Liz versus JTE and Tom versus Burnett, yeah, stay right here. And thankfully, I'm not alone because, as views will tell you, if I do things alone on this channel, no one will watch them. So I have, of course, Malcolm Goldilay. How are you doing, Malcolm?
Um, Pretty good. Just chilling and
Chilling?
yeah.
Got that right. And we also have returning. We like him a lot. James White. How you doing, James?
Hey guys, I'm doing great.
I thought that would have been a longer intro.
No, I'm doing great. Yeah.
So tonight we're gonna start by talking about the Intergeetum Fatal 4-Way that was between Chance, Brandon Hanna, Keaton Markey, and Chandru D. So I thought this was a really fun match. But if you guys want to see what I thought about as it happened, you can check out our reaction right here on this channel. Yeah, because we still do those sometimes. I thought it was a really fun match. Congrats to Brandon for winning. It really came down to him and Chance, and I didn't know Chance knew as much about Intergeekdom as he showed, so good on him. Malcolm, I'm going to turn it over to you first, and what I'm going to ask you here is, why did you betray Keenan?
I mean, it's because Brandon and Chance were in the match. I knew that they were really good in IG, and I knew that if anyone could win, it would be one of those. Like, I do like Keaton. Like, she's a fun personality, but quite often it all depends on the questions you get. Because if you get a category you're really not good in, then of course you're going to struggle. But like, she did good with what she was given, and I hope to see her again. But Brandon winning is just one of those ones. Like, he played really well. I don't think Brandon actually missed a lot of questions. So
I don't remember how many he missed. He didn't miss a lot. James, you are very, very good friends with Brandon. So what did you think about your boy?
Man, I'm so proud of that dude. I know how much work he's been putting into this match. When he found out that he was going to be in a 4-way, and then found out that Chance was going to also be in a part of that 4-way, it just pumped him up even to another level. I know what he was preparing, how he was preparing, and just to see the amount of preparation that he put into this match, the IG League is really going to have to be on notice, because I think he's going to be making waves this year as a rookie. He's going to be knocking down doors. He knows his stuff. That dude has been studying all of his gaps, and I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this league.
So, what did you guys think of the other competitors? Of course, we have Chance, we have Chandru, Keaton. Keaton is already established. So, first, let's talk about what did you guys think of rookie Chandru? James, I'm going to go to you first. What did you think about his debut match?
Oh, Chandru was great, except for his little dance number at the beginning. If the floss could die tomorrow, it would not be soon enough. I can't stand that, and anytime I see somebody dancing the floss, I want to punch them in the face. But regardless of that, I was really enjoying Chandru on the desk. I thought he was great. I like his personality, and he knows his shit. He really hung in there all the way to the end, so I think he's going to be able to be one that sticks around for a while.
And Malcolm, what did you think of Chandru's debut appearance?
Yeah, Chandra was great. Like like when I saw the name, like I didn't know what to expect from him. And he showed he was there for a reason, and he's just lucky he didn't have a belt when he did the flossing, because otherwise he would have been out for about 3 months.
That isn't wow. You know what, Malcolm? Just applause on that. Good work. You made a Kearns joke. So yeah, Chance was really interesting to me because, as I said previously, I mean, he is teammates with Mike Kalinowski, former engaged champion, but I just didn't. In the matches that he's had, he's never really been able to show the Irrigated knowledge. So, Malcolm, what did you think about for Chance's first foray into Irrigatum? Is this something you hope that he continues to do?
Yeah, I mean, like I always knew that Chance did know his in a geekdom, because I think I said it on like when he was announced to be in this, like in the fan leagues he competed in, like Full Metal Geek and the fandom fights, which is basically the inner geekdom ones, and he's been consistent in both of those leagues, so he does know his geek knowledge. I think this is the first time he really had an opportunity to actually show it off in a match on the Schmoedown.
And James, what do you think? Are you hoping that they bring Chance back to compete soon, and maybe a no fatal 4-way?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to Chance. I think it just depends on where
Like
he wants to.
Literally or figuratively?
Yeah, no, literally, it depends on where he wants to put his study practices in. Does he want to make a run at singles? Does he make a run at IG? Because I think whichever one he focuses on, he'll be able to do well in. He knows Disney, he knows Pixar, he knows Harry Potter. So I knew he had some things that he would be really good at. But I wasn't sure about the overall depth of his knowledge, and he showed that he knows a little bit at least in everything. So if he really dedicated the time to it, I think he would do well in IG. But he still doesn't have able to hold a candle to my boy Brandon. The Hitman has knocked him out once. Chance can bring it back again. The Hitman's going to take him out a second time. I'm just throwing it out there.
So speaking of the Hitman, he won this match, and as Emma Fife, oddly, if you watch her reaction, we weren't really sure what's happening, where she was like, "Welcome to Inner Geekdom." We were like, so was he not in before? Or we were very confused by that. But who do you guys want to see Brandon go up against next? Is there anyone competing now that you would hope could be his next match? James, you seem really, really confused, not confused, conflicted by this. So
I'm trying to think. You know, I want to see a good match. I think Brandon versus Adam Plavik would be a good match. I think that would be a fun one to watch. I don't know whether Brandon's got the pedigree yet to take on Adam. Adam's, you know, a seasoned veteran. But I think that would be a really fun match. It's two, you know, titans of industry. They know their shit, and I think it would be a battle all the way down to the end.
I think that's a great choice. I couldn't really, even though I asked the question, I couldn't really think, because like there are people I want to play. Like, of course, I would love to see him play against like Smets at some point, and
right.
You know, and Navarro. But it's like, but Malcolm, putting all that aside, let's just say records don't matter. Who would you want to see Brandon play against?
I'm not sure what his record is, but I kind of want to see him go up against Zip, Super Zipper.
Super Zipper.
But there's like Zipper's one that he's got the knowledge. I think if he goes up against someone who's got about a similar amount of knowledge, which I think Brandon does at this point, and they've got similar records, so it does kind of make sense that it could make for a great match. But yeah, and as for that post-match interview, like I was just as confused because it's really hard. I didn't know whether that meant that the others are technically not in the geekdom. So it's
yeah,
really
it was a really
confusing.
weird cutscene. It felt like it was oh, it was supposed to be an audition. I mean, it was really weird the way that they just kind of threw that together.
Yeah, it was a really weird. Like she jumped in, and at first it seemed like she was gonna say who his next opponent was or something, but then it was like, oh, welcome to Nerd Geekdom.
I'm assuming that it's like, hey, welcome. You know, you're here.
But
You're one
it
of
was
us
a nice
now.
thing. Like I just think,
Right.
per
But the
usual
way
on
it
the
came
summit, we
off, it
look
kind of felt
integrity.
like, hey, you won, so now you're a part, is the way it read.
Yeah, like
when
now
everything was
Chandru and Chance aren't
Yeah.
a part of it, and
I don't think that was the
Keaton's been
intention,
kicked
but
out.
it felt that way.
Yeah, Keaton's been kicked out, but Malcolm doesn't care about that.
Look, I think Keaton is a very fun personality, but she's had some really rough matches, man.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I
By the
agree
way,
with that.
Malcolm, someone joining this call, who I think would like to talk to you is we have Key Marquis. No, we don't. I wish I was like Maury at that point where I could just bring her out on stage to just. But
Thanks, Abe.
all right, so moving on to Friday's doubleheader, we were all very, very excited because we didn't know what this doubleheader was going to be. We thought maybe it was going to be Dan cashing in his singles, his free for all win, and was
The only person
counting
that
up.
thought that was Kristen.
I was say we had one person that thought that, and she's not here this week.
Oh, okay, so we're not going to talk about that because forget her.
And I believe they were told last week that it was going to be Mike versus Janine. So.
We thought it was, you know what, guys? We all thought it was going to be Mike versus Janine. And you know what we got instead? We got Tom versus Burnett, which, of course, that was like, this is going to be amazing. Easy win for Tom. This is going to be a match. And it was. Listen, people, you guys know here. I speak the wonderful word of Tom Dagnino any chance I get. Tom. Oh. I think calling this a match might be insulting to Schmoedown matches.
It was a dumpster fire, Matthew. It's a dumpster fire.
It was. And Burnett, as per usual this season, just set aflames. Like it was just I'll go first on this. My favorite part was at the end when Tom was like, I got bigger fish to fry, because it was like, yeah, that's why Tom didn't win. If Tom wanted to win, Burnett? Come on. He would have been able to beat Burnett. He was almost a team champion. He had bigger fish. He's got bigger things to do. He doesn't need to concern himself with the likes of Burnett. He wanted to give Burnett this win. He wanted to make Burnett feel good. That way, when he crushes the family this season, he wouldn't be expecting it. Malcolm, what did you think of this, let's call it, meeting with trivia between Burnett and Tom?
I mean, match-wise, it was fucking awful. I mean, to finish the match at 7-5, which is typically what a lot of round ones end in, it's like, what? And the one thing that hurt me the most is a former Inner Geekdom champion not knowing who directed fucking Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he's only directed 7, Harry Potter movies.
I mean,
even if you didn't know that, it's like,
it's from what I've heard from like this. Because I know when this premiered, Skaliska was in the chat, and like he kind of said that they were both really drunk at the time, which you could tell.
No, not at all. They were sober as nuns.
But
really nuns.
I mean, for me, the most entertaining part of this was the whole post-match interview with my Burnett just babbling on about stuff, and then like Tom just walking off, Jen walking off, walking back to take away the microphone, just walking off as like leaving Burnett there yelling. That was just fun.
Listen, Jen Sturger is amazing. We don't really give her the credit. Jen, we here at Take Free, we all love you. Anytime you want to come on our show, any of our shows, I don't care. You want to come on Jukebox Trivia, you come on Jukebox Trivia, because we love you. Girl, you really stuck it out, because I'm not. Well, Tom was there.
Is she also invited to Suddenly Soundtracks?
I'm sorry?
Is she also invited to Suddenly Soundtrack?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't run that show. So yeah, sure. You're invited to some of these soundtracks. I don't care. You're invited. You want to be on Gone with the Wind or Win? I don't know. Yeah, sure. You're welcome. Did you see movies this year? You're welcome. James, what did you think about this drunken encounter at pub night trivia?
Oh, dude, it was awful. But like you said, yeah, Tom, yeah. What's Tom gonna do? Yeah, he's in Tokyo closing $5 million deals. He didn't have to play Burnett. But no, I played along with this match like I play along with every match, and literally, I could have stopped after round one because I went 8 for 8 in round one. I could have just kicked my feet up and relaxed for the rest of the game and just won this one outright because that was the worst match I've ever watched in my life.
I have a feeling
some
like
of the questions they missed were like ridiculously easy too. It wasn't even like it was super deep cut questions. Like you said, how do you miss David Yates when he's directed almost every Harry Potter movie that's out there?
Guess at that point, it's like if there was a Harry Potter director question and I didn't really know it, I would say David Yates because he's kind of got the majority.
Right.
Burnett didn't even make an educated guess. He beat Orson Welles.
Yeah. I mean, there were so many. I really hope it was alcohol related because if they were completely sober, and you never know with them because you can look at them and they look like they're hammered when they're stone sober. So I hope it was all alcohol related here, and they were just trashed out of their minds and just kind of writing scribbles down.
I have a feeling what happened was we were supposed to get a match like a Mike versus Janine, but then scheduling happened. Burnett and Tom live at Collider Studios. They were like, hey, you guys want to be in a match? And they were like, yeah, sure. They were like, can we drink? And they were like, yeah, whatever. And they just had questions set up. I like to think that. But moving on, we had the main event, which was JT versus Liz Shannon Miller. This was a far better match than the first one. And this marks, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, JT's return to singles, I believe. He's come back.
No, he was back before he faced John Harris earlier in the season.
See? Okay.
Right, yeah, he had to win that match to be able to get Lon. That's right.
Okay. So never mind. Then the title of this video might have to change. Whoops. So JT has been back already, but it's you know what? It's his return to singles after his re-debut in singles. Let's call it that. Let's call it Chris isn't here. So what did you expect was going to happen? That should really be the title of this episode. So yeah, JT, he's back, and there were so many great little evil moments that remind me why I love him as maybe not a competitor, but as certainly a voice in the Schmoedown. Liz Shannon Miller, I thought was great in this. I like the character she's forming, a very very happy character, which as this season is progressing and as the Schmoedown in general, which we could talk about later with it being very, very heel dominated, I kind of like that we have people like Liz Shannon Miller who are just very excited and just want to play. And JT was great. James, what did you think about this match? And what do you think about Liz and JT's? Well, more Liz moving forward. Do you want to see her compete more?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see her
number one contenders match or not.
Yeah, I want to see her compete more for sure. But I think JTE really gets short shrift. I think he is a much better competitor than a lot of people really give him credit for. A lot of people love to throw around, the little JTE-isms and, Guillermo del Toro and all that stuff. And the Jew Bear, which is my favorite thing ever. But he's a really good competitor. He knows a lot about movies. So I felt a little bad for him because his round 2 was so rough. They gave him some really deep questions in round 2, and I felt like she had a much easier round 2. That's just personal. I was rooting for Liz in this match. I thought she was actually going to win. That was my prediction going in. But as it unfolded, I think JTE kind of got a little bit of the shaft there. I think his round 2 was much harder.
I agree. Looking at the round two, I don't know how many times monster movies as a slice has been played, so it kind of it's not a lot, which that's why her questions kind of made sense. GTE, however, I can't remember Ridley Scott being spun and stuck with unless there's. I just can't remember like a lot of recent matches where it's been Ridley Scott to where it would be questions like that to where they were really, really deep cut.
I agree with you there, but I don't think that it should be. Oh well, this slice has not been spun very much, so they're going to be really easy questions. I mean, there's a lot of those movies that you would just know based on context clues, whether having seen the movies or not. Whether those Ridley Scott questions, I mean, I was close on the Gladiator one. I thought it was deer, not horses. But I mean, who knows? Who watches?
Oh, I knew that.
You
I
knew that one?
Horses. Because he says because the son asks. He says, "What are their names?" I don't remember their names, but
it was
horses.
like Arturo or something. I can't remember.
I don't know. I knew there were horses.
Yeah. After they said horses, like shit. Yeah, it is horses. But no, that's a much harder question than the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes, that's well. Speaking as someone who used to write for the Schmoedown, I can tell you when new categories are created, you can get very lucky, and Salisky doesn't have questions or stuff, which is why sometimes you get like monster movies because it's just like those are questions that have been written, and if the category has been played, that's what they have. Because the reason why we get really, really like action adventure is a really crazy category now, and movie release dates is because a lot of the seemingly easy ones, they've been written already and they've been played already and they can't be used already. That's why I keep telling people, Kurt Russell, if you spin it, play it. Believe me, I've written a majority of those questions, okay? Believe me. Well, then again, actually, I wrote those, so maybe they're actually not that easy. I don't know.
But no, I'm just saying that just because they're monster movies and just because it's not been spun before, it doesn't mean you have to write easy questions. You could write hard questions and give them hard questions and make it a fair match.
Well,
not saying it was completely unfair. I'm not taking anything away from Liz's win, but I think that she had a much easier path to pick.
She did, but I think the other thing is this is just sometimes it depends on what movie fan you are, because if you know nothing about horror, like I know
nothing about horror, and I think however many questions they had,
it's not horror, but like let's just say like I don't. James, you know what? I'm trying to be fair to Salisky if he watches this.
It's not Skalisky's fault. I just think that
he got called out by.
It's not Skalisky's fault.
That's just not fair. I did Josh McCouga that Godzilla question where it was like, I don't know, fucking Mothra. And it was Mothra. I was like, fuck yeah. Malcolm, I'm so sorry. What did you think about GT versus Liz?
I mean, I thought it was a great match. I mean, I'm with you on the questions, because I mean, and I mean, I think with monster moves, well, yes, they don't have to be easy because it hasn't been spun before. But like, we don't know sort of how they set up their questions. For all we know, they could maybe set it up like in orders. Like, this is the order we've got for the monster moves. It's the first the first four that you're going to be asking, and maybe they forgot to sort of shuffle them around. Maybe. I can't remember. I think Ridley Scott's been played a few times, but I can't really remember. But like, not that I'm saying that's an excuse for why it's easy, but I mean, I think the other thing is when you've got something like Ridley Scott, who's got a kind of a smaller-ish base of movies in compared to monster movies, which depends on where the definition of monster movies ends. You've got a whole slew of monster movies out there, but only got probably about 20 or so Ridley Scott movies to draw from. So there's, when you look at the scope of sort of how big each category can be, then who knows sort of how
that is a good point where you're going with a director specific category to a genre. to where monster movies, like, you can make arguments that Jaws is a monster movie, and then you can ask Jaws questions, whereas Ridley Scott, it's like you can really only ask Ridley Scott related question, which there's only so many movies you can talk about, you know. Moving on. So of course we get into round 3. JT is down, and he just can't do it. Liz wins by TKO, and she gets her spot into that #1 contenders match against Paul Yama at the Collision, which aired. It happened on Saturday. It's really difficult to talk about because I know 2 people on this stream have watched it. 1 person hasn't. I'm the one.
You haven't watched it, Matt?
No, I haven't watched
Really?
it because I want this channel to have reactions, and so so everyone, please do me a favor. I'm like, actually, it's gonna be a solo reaction, so please do me the favor and at least like get me to like double digits, because if I don't even crack double digits on my reaction, I'm gonna be like, well, fuck it. You know what? No, I'm fine at it. Again, this is my summit. I'm gonna. You know why I didn't watch. And I'm just fine to watch Collision because I watched Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. Had a nice little double bill for myself. House was real quiet. It was a really nice night for me. Yes, I was alone, but you know what? I'm fine with that.
I approve of your decision, sir.
I'm okay with that. It was really nice because we have a nice 70-inch TV downstairs, surround sound, quiet house. It was also cloud coverage, so it was really dark. It was a good movie night, so I made a good choice at the end of the day. So what we're going to do instead of talking about the Collision, we'll talk about that next week in crazy depth, and thankfully Kristen Smith will be back, so you'll get like really quality questions and conversation set up. I'm going to be honest, the most notes I took for this, and I'll show you guys here, was just who was in the matches. That was it. That's what I did for notes. So we are in June, which is the midpoint of the year, unless you create weird months.
Exactly 6 months to Christmas.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, guys. 6
What
months
a-
until Christmas Eve.
What about you
coming.
leave based on the Chinese calendar?
Well, this is America, so, and I'm Irish and a little bit German, so I don't base things on the Chinese.
I
If
mean,
And
you
Malcolm,
do-
isn't Christmas in the middle of summer for you?
Yes.
That's so weird, dude.
I'm so sorry, Malcolm.
I grew up in Florida, and that's still weird.
I grew up in New York.
Also, we've got Brandon Hannon in the chat, and he says he wants to play Smets.
Ooh.
You don't get Smets in your second match, Brandon. I love you, dude, but you don't get it in your
Wow.
second match.
Smets, you know what, Brandon? I'm going to quote Han Solo here and say, great kid, don't get cocky.
Yeah.
So I thought a fun thing to do would be, let's talk about the 2019 season. We're at the midpoint of it now. What have been some of your favorite moments, matches, and what do you want to see going forward? Maybe some matchups you would hope would happen. James, I'll start with you. Easy question. What would you say so far has been your favorite match?
Oh, that's not an easy question at all, actually.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Trying to think, man. I would say my favorite match is seeing Merle beat Irwin and get the belt back.
I sat right next to you as that happened.
Yeah, it was the best.
That was, oh my God, that entire New York event was so much fun. That's why I can't wait for August. That was crazy. Oh my God, that was, before the show was insane.
After the show was insane. Yeah,
I wasn't
that was
there.
so much fun. I really have I'm just bummed that I'm not gonna be able to make the August event in New York.
We're gonna miss you, James. We'll Skype you in. Don't worry. Well, not into the event. You gotta pay for that. But we'll Skype you into to all the drunken craziness that happens.
Yeah,
before
sounds
and
good.
after.
Yeah, make sure that I get to see Chris Clark, up on stage.
I will. Don't worry, we will. Malcolm, what would you say has been your favorite match of the year so far?
My favorite match of the year so far has been really tough to top ever since it first happened, and that's and that's Rachel versus Mike Kalinowski, the title match from Schmoedown. That's been probably one of my favorite matches so far. So far, nothing has actually topped it.
It's a good choice too.
That was a really, really great match. I think that match, not just for being a great Intergeekdom match, but also I think just for all the live streaming they would do and everything, I think that match is really important to the Schmoedown for kind of what it's done now. I mean, we just saw on Saturday. They did it again. My favorite match is one that is no one's favorite match but mine.
Dagnino versus Burnett.
How did you know? I mean, guys, you're all just giving them. You're just haters, man. No, it is. Some people would say it's actually not too far off from that, but it is. It's Guy versus Bateman at Houston.
No, it's a good match.
I talked about this when we covered the Houston live event. I think sometimes. I love the trivia in the Schmoedown, but my real favorite thing is the characters and storylines. I loved every moment of just from when they walk into the ring and Tom gets stopped, and then Burnett comes in and it's okay, and then the Five Horsemen show up, and just the smack talk between Ben and Drew during it, and Ben wearing the fake glasses, like just everything, and then ending with that amazing moment of Drew coming to hit Ben with the chair, Booker T stopping him, Roka grabbing Drew, throwing him in, Ben hitting with the chair, and then they all throw up the Five Horsemen signal. It was so great. I said this on the summit before, and I'll repeat it again here. I watched that match live, and then like 40 minutes later, I watched it again because I just had so much fun with it. It's in my top 10 of all-time matches, so it's going to be really hard to top. So moving on, what do you guys want to see? And this can be kind of freeform, just sort of when you think of something. What stuff you want to see? Do you want to see maybe more Intergeekdom? Is there a team you want to see play more? Like I know for myself, where's Mark Riley's singles match? I know he lost to Snyder, but come on, where's Guy's singles match where Bateman chooses the competitor? Where are these things? I want them.
I'll tell you what I want. And Janine actually had an article about it last week or a couple weeks ago, and I've been talking about it for a couple months. Is I want to see an Intergeekdom and General Trivia team up where you have one singles player, one Intergeekdom player, and you do a team kind of like mixed doubles. So you have Intergeekdom questions, you have general questions, you go back and forth, and you don't really know where it's going to come from. I think it would be a really fun tournament, kind of like Anarchy, where you can match somebody up with like Smets and Riley on a team, and like Janine and Brandon on a team and stuff. Like it would be so much fun. It would be a really good tournament.
That's a really great Patreon match.
It would be
like,
not a match. We need a full blown tournament.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Teams,
But I'm saying something like that can live to where, because I think that's the great thing I loved about the Patreon matches this year is that it's very clear about like this does not affect the records. Which kind of, I think, frees up the competitor. And I think it also allows you to have competitors. Like, we would never see Smets versus Roka in Intergeekdom or in singles anytime soon, just because the records, Roka's never played Intergeekdom, but we got to see him in the Harry Potter match. I think that would be a great kind of, like, for a couple of months, like, mini Patreon match tournament thing of just, like, not just, like, total anarchy of where it's just, like, I really want to see, honestly, Patreon regular Schmoedown. I want to see a tag team match. Like a literal where it's like you slap in your teammate to where it's like, okay, category is going to be songs and soundtracks. The Bateman's got to slap in Riley or something like that. That would be fun and crazy and just out there. Malcolm, what's something, is there a matchup? Is there a type of match you want to see?
Well, I mean, talking about the Harry Potter Patreon match, I want to see
Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
There's really no need to do a Lord of the Rings. Just give Rachel the belt.
No. We need, if there's a Middle Earth Patreon match, get Robert the Hobbit Parker down to California
and get Brandon Hanna in that match. Get Brandon Hanna in that match, and he will fucking run over Rachel Cushing. I'm putting it on there now. I'll put $100 on Brandon for the win.
Okay.
Brandon's staking that. He's putting in the $100 for me.
but anyway, talking about the Harry Potter Patreon match, I want to see that Joy Horscher and Ayn Zeke and regular in a geekdom actually competing, because I don't know what their knowledge is in sort of other realms, but I kind of want to see them in the regular league, see what they can do, sort of whether it's seen or movies and that. I want to see more of them. I'm waiting for this talking about team ups and that we haven't seen yet. I'm still waiting to see this the Time Machine debut, Janine and Ethan, because that's been in the works since New York, and I really can't wait to see sort of what their first match is. I think from what I've heard is Ethan's schedule's all over the place, so we're probably not going to see him until the tournament. So probably why that match we haven't seen that yet. So
yeah, that's the problem. We start to when you get into this point in the Schmoedown is it's not going to be too long before we get into the singles and the teams tournaments, and then by that point, it's really hard to do other things because those pretty much usually lead up to Spectacular. There's usually a couple weeks in between, but by that point, we already know who's playing in the title matches, who's playing in the number one contenders matches, and so it's hard to get these things. So the one match I really want to see before that is, of course, I want to see this Bateman choosing Guy's opponent, because the way it's talked about and the way Guy even said is like he can pick like you gotta be a 7 versus 1. Like he can have it be the 5 Horsemen versus Andrew Guy. Like he can make that happen. It doesn't have to be a regular singles match, which I would kind of love that.
You know what would be fun though? What would be fun is if he makes it a handicap match and it's Riley and Merle against Guy.
Yeah.
Brandon, I like how I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat here. That's why Brandon. That'd be really, really funny. The redemption match, the two of them.
It's like, you beat them? Here, now you have them both at once.
Yeah, now you have them both at once. Oh my.
No, better yet, a gauntlet match. Drew Guy versus every competitor in the league in a gauntlet style match. As soon as one
through.
It's a 7-hour pay-per-view.
Oh my god. I would watch that. I'd watch it.
You didn't even watch the Spectacular. Or the Collision, come on.
I didn't do that because I'm trying to run a good reaction channel.
Yeah,
That's why, James.
Okay.
You know what, James? I bring you onto my show. You know what, James?
You brought me onto Kristen's show.
You know what? Oh, now that you started it, hey guys, you know what we're about to do now? We're about to do a new game. It's called 6 Degrees of Schmoedown. How does it work?
I'm sorry for interrupting. Just to correct James. James, this is my show.
I brought
This is my show.
My bad, Abe.
Abe had to show himself on camera because of this.
I've been playing Tetris for the last hour or however.
Abe's just been listening to us. That's why I didn't even bother tossing it to you ever, Abe.
So
Abe, while you're here, is there any match you want to see before we start the game?
I want to see Clark Wolf versus John Rock, and been wanting to see that since 2016.
Oh my god, yes.
How have we not had that match?
Records match up that you could do that.
I want to see Scott Manson, John Roker 3.
I'm sorry?
I want to see Scott Manson, John Roker 3.
Yeah, where is Manson?
Yeah, we haven't seen Manson in a long while.
I think he's in jail.
Manson.
We haven't seen Manson since Team Trek broke up, have we?
But they never officially.
Not really. They both just kind of.
Because I remember I went on Twitter and I made like a tweet. Because this was when the 5 Horsemen originally formed. I was like, if Team Trek is no more, I think Riley, and I still think they could have been, Riley and Inman could have been a good team. And Inman was like, who's talking about Trek being broken up? And I was like, oh, I guess they're not.
And actually, come to think of it, I think the last match that we saw Mance in was the movie release date's Patreon match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We all miss Vance. We all love you, Scott.
And I don't think he's in the Star Trek match.
Oh, don't even.
That's a crime that he's not in the Star Trek match.
Don't even.
I mean,
just.
I just hope that means he's written it and he's going to be on the desk.
Yeah, because if I had to pick two people that I needed in that or three people that I needed in that Star Trek match, it would have been Mance, Inman, and Merle. Because Dan Merle knows his Star Trek too.
Whitney,
And
Whitney
I don't think,
as well. Whitney knows his Star Trek.
and yeah,
well.
Whitney and I think Robert Meyer Burnett.
Yeah, Burnett. Yeah,
Whitney is.
But I don't think Dan's. I don't think Dan's in that.
I don't think Dan is.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing like Dan and Mance were both not in the match, and I'm like, what? Come on.
Burnett's not in it either. Those were the two where I was like,
that's the other one, yeah.
How? But again, I guess maybe some people are writing it. I don't really know how it works.
Scheduling, you never know.
You never know. But you know what we do know? We're gonna know the rules for 6 Degrees of Schmoedown. How does it work? You ever watch Late Night with Take 3 when we play 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, where you have to name an actor is in a movie with another actor? Well, today it's gonna be Schmoedown. So it's gonna be crazy. So the way it works, you can name a Schmoedown competitor, and you have to name something they were in with another competitor. It could be a faction, it could be a team, it could be a cutscene. I don't know. Maybe if you saw them sitting next to each other in an audience shot. So we'll go me, Malcolm, James, and then just Abe probably doesn't want to play. So let's. I'll start it off and say
I do want to play.
Okay. So then we'll go me, Malcolm, James, Abe, and then back to me. So let's start it off with Scott Mance played John Roca in a singles match in 2016. James is so confused.
Do we need the years?
No, I'm just being an asshole. You don't need the years.
No, you're getting me back for the last time we played 6 Degrees, and I gave you Warwick Davis.
No, it's kind of, I'm just like, there's really nothing else to talk about. This is just fun, crazy, and I hope Kristen Smith watches this at some point.
John
watches this show.
John Roca was in The Horseman with Matt Nost.
He kind of, well, no, there's something you can do with him.
I can't use Roca. Who the hell did Nost play? Shit. God, all these matches just bleed together into one big ball of myth. I'm going to say top 10, team top 10 played. So, Nost was in team top 10.
He was.
They played, I'm going to assume they played the Patriots at some point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was
times, actually.
Okay, I'll take that. I didn't get knocked out right away.
All right, Abe, so you have Patriots.
So, Jeff Snyder played Josh Makuga.
All right. Josh Makuga.
This game's so dumb.
Josh Makuga played against Clark Wolf.
Can we repeat competitors?
No, it's 6 Degrees. You can't repeat people. You can't repeat matches. You can't repeat teams.
Clark Wolf was in a title match against Dan Merle.
Oh, you fucker. You gave him Merle.
Yeah. I got Merle was in his first match against John Campion.
John Campion was in a match with Team Heroes, which was the season opening of the 2017 season against Adam. They spun directors and only missed one question. I don't know if you remember. And then Superhero News with Hector Navarro and Adam Halavik spun release dates. Well,
Okay.
All
right, so Hector Navarro played against Jeremy Johns in an Intergeekdom match.
Actually, he played in two.
Oh, Abe, shut up.
Um,
Also, this is a really short episode. I just realized. I really apologize, people. I had a very my Sunday ended up being a lot busier than I thought it was going to be, so I apologize, and I didn't really prep a legitimate summit for everyone.
Jeremy Jones played against Rachel Cushing in one of the Fatal 5-Way in a Geekdom matches.
All right, Rachel Cushing was in the Fife Club with Emma Fife. Emma Fife Spawn.
No, Emma Five and Joelle Monique were in a team called the Night Sister in their opening match against Team Action, where they spawned Tom Hanks movies. And Team Action, I don't remember. I think it was Tom Cruise. No, they
on Action Adventure.
They spawned Action Adventure. So the Night Sisters versus Team Action.
How do you all remember this shit?
Team Action, because we're geniuses. You could see that in our Schmoedown match that never airs.
Where I won.
I don't know. I kind of think I won that, Abe. But we'll never know. Actually, in the comments below, who do you think won between me and Abe? Team Action played against Above the Line in a bullshit match that was totally fixed so that Above the Line could win. You ever realize the passage of time, how slow it is? We've only been streaming for 46 minutes.
Are you gonna try to push it to an hour?
Fuck yeah, I think we will push it to an hour with this. I really fucked up this week, didn't I? I thought our discussions were a lot longer than they ended up being. Thank God for this game.
Drew McReaney played against Mark Riley in a singles match.
James looked his hat backwards. The shit's serious.
It's like over the top. Yeah, turn it around. All right. Mark Riley lost a singles match to Andrew
Oh,
Guy.
you motherfucker.
Sorry, Riley.
Played.
What are the rules when it comes to taking out teams? Because we've already used.
We use the teams, but you can use the player. Yeah.
That's what I was checking.
You know what, guys? Those rules seem fine.
Because if you said the Horsemen, it's unfair that you are eliminating 5 people from being mentioned.
This episode might go unlisted. The more I look at it.
Andrew Guy was in a match in Team Action against Late to the Party.
You're out, Abe. You said Team Action again.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know.
You needed a singles match that he was in.
You needed something
You
else.
say Merle, you say Riley, and you already mentioned Roca.
Hey,
No shit. You're done.
hey, man. I'm sorry, Abe. That's the game.
I'm mentioning.
I mean, technically, he could have cheated and said that Drew Guy was in the free fall and just named a competitor.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but that's pretty.
Sorry, Abe. You lost just like you lost our singles match.
I won, and then remember.
Oh,
when
there's
I
no.
lost against Linus because I didn't know Becky G.
That's true.
Or that guy that comes out in Stranger Things.
I don't know what his name.
No, you dress up as him.
Edgar Montgomery was not on the team with Becky G. He was on the other team.
Oh yeah, that's true. And there was a Chinese guy.
Yes.
A Chinaman? No, that's right.
All right, guys. So we're
Don't count
gonna
it.
continue, and now everything's reset because I think that's what happens at 6 degrees.
Hmm.
I didn't lost. You just got me out.
You repeated Andrew Guy. You
I
repeated.
say Andrew Guy was in a match against Late to the Party.
Team Action. You said Team Action
Yeah.
played against Late to the Party. Team Action had already been done.
That's pretty stupid rules. You know, we're gonna finish this thing. Matt, give me your flux.
But we haven't hit an hour yet.
Doesn't matter.
Should
mean,
should we?
If the stream goes offline, we know Abe's just rage quit.
Yeah. So let's. I don't know.
No, continue playing. I don't care.
I'm still in control. Okay. No, it's fine.
Continue playing.
So yeah.
Playing. Now you're gonna finish a game and you have to win.
No, we're gonna do plugs. Eve.
No. You're gonna plug your
Fine. We'll keep playing. Okay. So let's see. Mark Riley. I could have been a real asshole there. Mark Riley played against Josh McCouga in 2014 for the title.
Josh McCouga played against Finstock in a singles match.
Well, Finstock just played against Robert Meyer Burnett.
That's wrong.
No. Tom Dagnino played against.
Oh, come on. The same person.
As
No.
Tom said in the famous Finn Draco moment, if you put the mask on and order a pizza, Finstock ordered the pizza. Tom Dagnino didn't order the pizza. I'm sorry, James. That's your fault. James is out. Now it's just me and Malcolm.
You know, that's not fair because they're two different characters. One is dead. Burn.
No, Finstock came back.
That's okay. I'll take the loss. I'm just going to sit like this for the rest of the match. Or the rest of the show.
Be like that. Hey, it is not my fault. You did not study up on your Schmoedown history before came up with it.
Consider that revenge from you getting me out the times we played this on late night that one time.
Not on late night. Let's start with this. All right, Malcolm.
Nah, my arms are getting tired. Damn it.
You can start.
Okay. Okay, go easy. Chance played Paul in a singles match this year.
Paul played against Liz at Collision.
But you haven't seen it.
Which I haven't. What the fuck? What does that mean? We're not talking about it until next week.
This is like This is like a Buddhist thing. If you haven't seen it, did it really happen?
I don't know. It was marketed.
Liz Shannon Miller beat JTE in a singles match, which I just realised. JTE's lost to two people for the last name Miller.
Yeah. Hey, JT played against Cody Miller in the singles match.
Yeah.
Bye, Malcolm.
Yeah.
You put that to yourself. I was going to go that he was on the Patriots and Snyder, but no. Okay, so I won as.
All right, my arms aren't so tired anymore.
In a game in which the rules were very clear and weren't ambiguous whatsoever.
We're talking about shenanigans. The real shenanigans is 6 degrees Schmoedown, which we need to play again. You know what we need to do?
Play it with Kristen.
Yeah, with Kristen, but not tell her. Just be like, okay, we're going to start playing the game, and not even explain the rules, and just start playing.
I tell you though, hey, we can't let this episode end without at least sending out a happy birthday to John.
I was going to. That was.
I'm just making sure. I know it's your dad. I know it's your dad, so I want you to make sure that you didn't forget.
Tell the good people on the interwebs where they can find you.
Where they can find me? Oh, you can find me at Twitter, Instagram, on Letterboxd, at Gator24, G4TOR 24. And I've been writing reviews at the Lords of Film blog, my friend Brandon Hanna's blog, The Hitman. Watch him on the Schmoedown. Read what we write. Come check us out.
Thank you so much for being on this train wreck of an episode.
This was fun.
Malcolm, Where can the good people find you?
You can find me hosting Rankum every Sunday night. Next week we're doing top 10 part 3's in movie series.
Ooh.
You can also find me hosting Full Metal
Jake and
Random.
Michael are gonna be on. No,
What?
are Jake and Michael Campbell are gonna be on?
But you can also find me on Full Metal Random, hosted every Tuesday night.
Not
also
doing my Parks and Recreation match.
It's coming. It's coming.
That's
So
what
what
she
he
said.
said.
I did have you in a friends match, but you didn't want it. But anyway, you can find me doing a lot of stuff all over the place. My plugs have gone all over the taking train wreck.
They've hopped on the train that we've already. Where can the good people find you?
Oh, you asked me? You can follow me on Twitter at Abraham.
Huh?
Abraham F25. James,
You can follow me on Twitter at
already?
Abraham F25. You can follow me on Letterboxd at Abraham Flores25. You can follow me on Instagram at Abraham Flores25. You cannot add me on Facebook if I do not know you, because I don't care about why you post. You know, I haven't accepted like 10 ounce and ankles together. Do you think I care about your life when I have them like 3 kilometers away from me? No, I don't. And we don't have anything to talk about because we don't know each other. So what's the point of me having you on Facebook? Thank you very much.
He does have a point. You guys, as always, can find me at Kern_Math on Twitter, Matt611 on YouTube and WordPress, and right here as host of Second Look. And please, as well, like Abe, don't add me on Facebook and not on Instagram. Those are private. That's where I share things with my friends and family, which if I'm not accepting your request, we're not friends or family. I don't need to give you access to pictures of like me and my dad when I was an infant. Why do you want to see that anyway? That's my question. Why do you want?
Maybe they are better.
I know me and Abe, we might pretend like we're really fun and cool people, but like I told you what my Saturday night was like. We don't do shit. This is the most we do. So adding us, you're gonna just see like what movie I watched recently, and it's probably like Kurt Russell, Ben Affleck, Harrison Ford. So
Captain Ron.
And guys, I do want to just send out a special message to a special man. His name is, of course, John Smith. He is the father of Carr Smith, the ambassador of me and LA, and just an all-around guy.
Not even a good guy, just a guy.
Just a guy. He's just a guy. No, really, John, we love you. The last Take 3 program I believe you were on was the Clone Wars watch along.
Nope.
Stinky, take a shot. I don't think he's ever been on the summit, except for like he pops in like and makes comments at my expense, but I don't think he's ever like been on the summit.
Technically, he was kind of on it last week. He was just sitting in the chair in the background.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like he's never, which is weird. Yeah, Kristen, John watches the Schmoedown? Why don't you let him? Wow. Okay. So you also, by the way, Kristen Smith will be back next week. I do want to say to anyone who is watching this on replay, I really apologize. I thought our discussions were going longer than they were, but they ended up not. So kids, learn from me. Prep before.
Kerns, they went just as long as they needed to go, buddy.
So, guys, we will be back next week. We'll be doing a full breakdown of Collision. Look forward to a reaction by myself. And thank you all for watching me. And remember, whatever he said.